Seeking knowledge, are you? Come to the right place. You teach you study habits and video editing skills. This podcast will. Pay attention, you must. And now, go to train the Jedi must. May the Force be with you.
Coursework, financial aid, followers, copyright strikes, and more. You are listening to the Life of a Content Creating College Student podcast starring Wayne Z0207 and Charlotte Waite.
Good evening and happy St. Patty's Day, folks! My name is Colton W. Hurst, also known as Wayne Z0207 on the internet, and I'm your host for this podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlotte. I'm back, and I'm excited to be on today's episode.
Of course, and I'm back as well. We're all back, and I've got returning guest Claire Peterson from episode 6 when our microphone happened to falter.
Hello. I'm back to try again.
Yes.
Redemption round.
It is great to have you back. Just remember, it's not on your end, it's on the technical side of things. Yeah, but with this microphone filter, it's working out quite well, so I'm not too concerned about the audio interception being interrupted. I was planning on having Greg with us today, but I have gotten word that he's gotten sick and won't be able to make it in. I'm not going to say too much, though, to respect his privacy, but just know that I am supporting him all the way. So quite a bit has happened recently. Would you mind summing up what has happened so far on both of your ends?
Both of our ends. I'm trying to think of the last time we even recorded. It was midterm, so we've been through the last half of the term. Had some really great time during our Top Tuesdays. We've been prepping for this next term. Spring term's really just hit the ground running, it sounds like.
We have a lot of really cool events coming up, but we're going to keep those a surprise.
Of course. Oh, yes.
And Colton, how about you catch us up on what's been crack-a-lacking with you since last time we recorded, and as well as what are 2 things that went well this week?
So the episode formatting has been edited so we can solely focus on catching up, per se.
Okay.
Students, staff, faculty, and Wayne Z0207 fans alike pleasantly celebrated my return from my absence on Friday. I am so grateful for the support everyone has given us in our time of grief. I thank every one of you for respecting the privacy of the Lipsy family and myself. It matters so much that I was able to stick by the person who was like a brother to me. It is a testament to the kindness of the Wayne Z0207 and Oregon Tech community. This is because so many people were willing to come together and show me their love and compassion. I will always be grateful for the support I received during this difficult time.
You have a really great fan group.
Oh, yes, indeed. Although it's a small fan base. I don't have too many fans lying around per se. I mean, you've created content before, Charlotte, haven't you? What's your fan base like?
I wouldn't say that I have a personal fan base around myself. I've created content for different universities. So it's a different fan base. It's more like a sports team fan base, rather than a personal fan base.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's not as spread out, is it?
Yeah, or personal. It's not a personal.
Right.
It's not on a personal level.
Right, but a fan base goes a long ways, whether or not. Whoops. Microphone tends to go right off the edges, but anyways, a fan base goes a long ways. It doesn't matter where you're coming from or what you're trying to achieve. It's all a matter of perspective. And while I was in that moment of grief, I've also taken the time to myself. And with a lucky miracle, and with the help of Greg, of course, my Xbox account is back online.
Woohoo!
I have been kicking butt on Mustang Pinball. And I could still activate that magical drift race double ball exploit.
Nice.
It has been joy to play the games I love so much. I still have yet to play MK11 and Tekken Bowling, however. I will need to activate the external storage device so my Xbox has room to install these updates. You know, games on the Xbox, their updates take up space. And when they take up space, it drains the storage on the Xbox. And my Xbox has gotten to the point where it's almost out of storage. It's almost like... So, I need to get that external storage device up and running, and I need to test out the new equipment as well. Perhaps with the weekend coming up, and with extra time to relax, I'll have the time to do that. Maybe a test run.
Not to mention, sorry.
No, spring break.
Spring break.
We're on the same
We
page.
are on the same exact wavelength.
Oh, yes. So what are your plans for spring break? Curious.
Well, we work.
We will be here.
Mhm.
But we're going to plan really cool things for spring term and make sure that we're going to get everyone to start on the best foot possible.
Mhm.
Yes.
Of course. And as for spring break myself, I'm going to take the time to relax a little bit. Take the time to refresh, unwind. I did have some goals planned out, but it's better to take care of myself than to use up all of my energy, per se. I mean, like, I already have gotten a good chunk of my abilities back from getting the Xbox back online. And boy, what a nightmare that was.
Oh.
So, needless to say, I'm pretty tired from this term. And
Yeah.
it's just pretty much a hard time trying to get things back up and running again. But once I do, I'll have the same abilities that I had before I lost the Xbox and losing the laptop when it broke down, and then some.
Good.
Sounds like some life happened to you in the past couple of months/weeks. I would love to know, how did these things help you grow, and what did you gain from it?
Well, needless to say, I gained some reassurance. Reassurance that I could take time off, and my followers would remain loyal to me. I was able to focus on the things that mattered to me, and that I was passionate about. This allowed me to create more meaningful content that resonated with my followers. I also gained confidence in my own abilities, knowing that I could take a break and still be successful. And on that note, I'm sure you folks have probably noticed, but I've taken the liberty of updating our sound library.
Woohoo!
So we've got some more tracks for you folks. You don't have to listen to some of the same old tracks on repeat every 30-something minutes. Every
Some
5, 10
variety.
something minutes. And there's even some longer tracks in there, in which the track we're listening to right now, it's right about 10 minutes long. So it takes quite a bit of time before it goes to the next track. And so I'm able to bring up a good variety of tracks, and I don't have too much to worry about at this moment of time in terms of music per se, but we're also trying to incorporate audio clips. If Greg were in here at this very moment, at some point during this podcast, I probably would have played an audio clip from one of my previous live streams, that being from the Halloween pay-per-view. So a little bit of a teaser trailer for when he does come on.
Something to get excited for.
Oh, yes. And I'm sure that by the time Greg, comes on and you're available, I'm sure you'll have plenty of questions for him.
Oh,
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure I will too. To meet him.
Yes.
I've just heard lovely things from you.
Of course. He's been a big help through Hearst Entertainment. He's been a big help to me personally. I mean, we started off as frenemies, for God's sakes. He challenged me. He had to challenge me in order to make me a better person. And it took me some time to realize that. And after all that, I'm just so glad that him and I are best of friends to this day.
Yeah.
See how life works out.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
All right. Well, Colton, I have another question for you about this week. What is one setback that you've come across?
Well, lately I felt without purpose, not gonna lie. Math grade dropped down to a B a couple times, and I've been feeling a bit unsatisfied with the way things have been. I want to make sure I'm getting the most out of my education, per se. So I'm talking to my professor and trying to get more out of the class. I've been talking to him, and I have gotten more out of it, needless to say. On my makeup exam, I was able to improve my exam 2 score from 120 to 130.
Wonderful.
And on exam 3, I got 142 out of 150. Out of sheer luck.
Excellent.
And probably a little skill too.
Yeah, so a little skill is involved too. But yeah, in my opinion, it was more down to sheer dumb luck. I mean, like, it's merciless out there. Let me tell you that much. Being a content creator and a college student, it isn't easy.
You've got a lot on your plate.
And so I want to work harder to keep my grade at an A and challenge myself more. I've also questioned how my major would make me feel after completing it and graduating top of the class. I've decided to focus on the process, not just the end result. I'm going to take the time to enjoy each step of my education and make sure I'm learning and growing along the way. I'm also taking the initiative to look for opportunities to use my knowledge and skills outside the classroom. I mean, it's been one heck of a roller coaster. I just had to do some soul searching these past few weeks, and that is the reason why I haven't been recording as much, per se.
Yeah, and it was needed, and it's okay.
Yes, and I imagine you must have done some throughout the time you weren't able to co-host.
Some soul searching? Yes, I did. I had some time to think about my family and the people that I was close to. And it was needed, the time away. It really was. So I'm grateful for it.
Of course, and I'm so grateful for my fans supporting me and supporting Charlotte and supporting Greg along the way. I mean,
thank you.
We appreciate that support so very much, and we're proud to have you for our fan base. And here's to hoping we continue our road to success later and later down the line.
Cheers to that.
So, Colton, I would love to know, what is one thing you can take away from these events that you experience? And what is one thing you might be able to improve on?
All right. So I'm determined to make the most of my education and use it to make a difference in the world. Being the content creator isn't easy. I'm also open to exploring different options to further my knowledge and skills. I'm committed to putting my best effort into everything I do. Content creation's been a passion for me, and it always will be. I'm ready to take risks, try new methods of learning and growing. I'm excited to explore opportunities that will help me reach my goals. I'm confident that I can make a positive impact on the world. Those things are also what's leading me to my answer to question 3.
Bum, bum, bum. Question 3. What did you do as a college student this week?
So after thinking and some help from Claire, Charlotte, and Desiree, I'm announcing that I have decided I will no longer pursue my old dream of traveling to Mars. Instead, I'm switching to a business major in the spring.
Woo!
I'm excited about the opportunities this decision will give me and the potential it opens up. I'm also looking forward to the challenge of mastering a familiar field. I'm sure with the support of my friends, I will be successful in this upcoming endeavor. These skills will help me continue my course in changing society and entertaining you, the audience, with created content that is meaningful and impactful. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this journey, and I can't wait to share results of my work. With more simplistic expectations and the chance to expand the skills I already have, I'm sure I can make a real difference. I'm excited to continue this journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results. I'm confident that this will be a rewarding experience. Plus, I considered what would have happened if I did continue on my mechanical engineering major and did achieve all these goals. I mean, would things truly be, what they should ideally be? Should they be that way? No, I don't think so. And plus, there's a chance I might not return. I mean, literally, I can't stand the thought of leaving my family and friends behind. That is a huge no-no for me.
Yeah.
I just can't stand the thought of that. And so, content creation, I just love it. I mean, I can't get my mind off it. It's just on my mind every single day. And so, even though I don't intend on going to Mars at this point, forming the Charity Fighters Association, that's still a possible reality. So just note that because one goes out of the picture, doesn't mean the other is.
Yeah.
And plus, I can revisit mechanical engineering at any time. There's a bunch of pathways that this could lead into. So it's impossible to speculate at this point, but just know that it's still a reality that I could form the Charity Fighters Association after 4 or 5 years. So this will give me plenty of time to enjoy the journey and to enjoy my time with you folks.
So with this new major change, Colton, can you please share with me what you might be able to do to enhance your studies based on your experiences?
Of course, I would love to, Claire. I'm determined to make the most out of my education and use it to make a difference in the world. Oh, wait, that was the previous sub-question. I can focus on the skills I need to improve, set achievable goals, and find ways to stay motivated and inspired. I can also seek help and guidance from those around me who have more experience and knowledge. Finally, I can be patient and enjoy the process of learning. Most of all, I can focus on doing what I love. I can also take some risks, try new things, and be open to feedback. I can take the time to celebrate my successes, no matter how small. Finally, I can remember that failure is part of the learning process, and it's okay to make mistakes.
It's okay to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Because mistakes are where the learning grows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, Colton. Well, I would love to hear, what did you do as a content creator this week?
So, over the course of the past few weeks, I discussed the business major switch with Claire, which will help me further my skills as a creator. I've created a business card that I plan on printing out at some point.
Oh.
From this point onward, any future career fairs I attend will result in me looking for clients rather than employment. I'm confident that my business major will open up many new opportunities, and I'm excited to see where it takes me. I'm also looking forward to connecting with other like-minded individuals who are also interested in entrepreneurship and business. In the end, this switch will be beneficial for me and my career both. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, like, it's just so amazing. Making videos is all a part of business in of itself. And aside from a podcast, did you take the time to make any other videos?
I didn't do any video content creating outside of social media reels and things of the sort.
Okay.
When I was working in content, we actually had someone hired that specialized in video production.
Right.
So I've never personally dabbled in anything video, just really auditory.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then you got quite a bit to learn from me.
Yeah.
I mean, like over time, you'll be a full-fledged, or if not, or at the very most, a professional in no time.
Heck yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it took me 2.5 years to be able to master OBS Studio, but I'm sure you could, with my guidance, you could put in almost half of the time.
Oh, wonderful.
Almost half the time needed.
Well, speaking of your guidance, Colton, what do you think you can do to enhance your content based on your experiences in the past few weeks?
Well, I can utilize business techniques to enhance my content from this point onward. This includes leveraging data and insights to develop strategies for improvement. I can also identify areas for improvement and create action plans to address them. Finally, I can use feedback from my audience to measure the effectiveness of my content. I can apply these techniques to all my content, ensuring that I reach my desired outcomes. Additionally, I can use the data I collect to inform future content creators, ensuring that my content is always up to date and relevant. And needless to say, with the help of Claire, I can also find templates online to help me budget my income that I get from content creation. Because with the rate things are going, content creation is going to be a vital key for me to succeed in college financially. It will be a vital role.
Yeah. You gotta get like a sponsorship.
Yeah. At some point, I'll get my videos monetized, but today is not the day.
Yeah, that takes a long time, a lot of effort.
Right.
All right, well, Colton, I would love to hear about what college events or club meetings that you attended this week.
Well, I've attended quite a few notable ones, but for this week, I attended the study night with professors from 4 to 11 p.m. I arrived at 5 and was there until 7 p.m. I wanted to take advantage of Dead Week and get some extra help from my professors, especially when preparing for my makeup exam in Math 111. So I attended the study night. There was free pizza involved in this. In conclusion, I couldn't help but grab a slice. And although I didn't get to speak with a math professor, I spoke with Professor Christy Weidman, shout out to you, the marketing director of business, during the event. We discussed what a switch to a business major would be like. She said she wished there were more creators like me around. I recently delivered my persuasive speech on becoming content creators, so it won't be long before that happens.
How did your speech go?
Well, I absolutely nailed it.
Awesome.
One of my strongest suits in this speech was my ability to use passive anger.
Oh.
And so...
Can you give us a little example?
Well, give me some time.
Okay, sorry. I really did.
Yes. So anyways, now's the time to take action. Tonight, we rise and strive to create the best content that we can ever put forward. It's time that we use this content to make a difference in this society.
Yes. I feel like you're a WWE announcer.
Oh, yes.
Don't you think so?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, welcome to the match.
Uh-huh. In which I am a pretty good announcer / star of my live streams, for that matter. I'm able to announce when someone lands in the black hole.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, like,
It's so fun.
I've got so much humor to boot, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's undeniable how much of a comedy fest I could put up.
Very
I don't
true.
doubt it.
So, Colton, please tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did this help you get involved with Oregon Tech or the Klamath Falls community, and why?
Overall, it's a 7. I could have gotten more out of study night if I found a math tutor or scheduled some tutoring beforehand. I was able to meet some new people, but I didn't get much out of the experiences I would have liked. I think if I had done some research beforehand and found a tutor, I would have gotten the most out of it.
Hindsight's 20/20, and just the next night,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
you just know what you're gonna do differently.
Right. And so I'm thinking that since, so now Dead Week is over, and there's a chance that there's going to be some final study sessions before some of the finals that are coming up. I know my professors in chemistry are holding a study final session.
Oh.
And so I'm very excited. And for that matter, it's actually scheduled before the final exam itself.
Nice.
Perfect.
So I can just be ready, get it done and over with. Finish the job. And so I'm pretty excited for that, but I'm kind of bummed that my math professor's not doing such a thing. So you know what? I'm taking the initiative, and I'm going to hold that study session myself.
There you go.
Do you also use the math tutoring lab?
Oh, yes, I've used that constantly throughout winter term.
Good.
And so I've been constantly going there to get help with homework problems as well as prepare for my quizzes and exams. Yeah. Active's been a real kid, like a temper tantrum throwing kid, let's just say. Yeah, Active kept on classifying the problems I did get right as wrong. And it was because of that we got full points on the homework.
Oh.
And as of right now, because of the makeup exam and everything that I've done to improve my grade, my grade's sitting at a 93 point something at this very moment. So I'm in a better position than I was.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to need to act very cautious.
Yeah. Just maintain.
Of course. So since we got a little bit of additional time, I might as well discuss an event that I really enjoyed, and that was the etiquette dinner.
Oh.
It was a fun event.
I
Oh, yes.
wasn't there. Tell me all about it.
Well, it did teach me how to act in a professional business setting.
Pinkies up.
Definitely.
Good.
And also to make small talk and know which fork to use, where to set your sides and your main course and your dessert. I even practiced that and reinforced that during the top reunion dinner.
How was the reunion dinner?
It was amazing. All the students from flight school, or at least most of them, were there. At the time.
Oh, it was flight school reunion.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, what? We had a reunion dinner?
yeah, like literally. So anyways, at the time being, there was a storm brewing. Like, it was snowing. Like, I was stuck at the college. My mom, with the way her eyesight's been, she can't necessarily take me to and from college if it's snowing outside. The conditions are just too terrible. But my Uncle Joe, he got me back safe and sound. Shout out to you. Yeah. Snowstorms are just so chaotic.
They are.
And I'm sure there's some environmental science students that are studying this field and are trying to examine how these snowstorms are impacting us. I mean, like, the weather here in Klamath keeps on getting more crazier and crazier every single year. I mean, like, I just can't describe it. So, what are some of the ways those environmental science students are taking the initiative to help understand what's causing this?
I personally don't know. I don't know if they're studying it, but every few years, there's weather cycles like La Nina and El Nino that come in, and they kind of dictate how wet our year is going to be. So we are in, I believe, La Nina year, which is a heavy wet year. So it was expected, and this happens every few years, and so it's really important, especially for, like, we live in the high desert. So what that means is that we get a lower amount of wetness, rainfall or snowfall each year. And so we need things like snowpack that we heavily rely on. So the water trickles down during the summer and fall and helps feed our crops, because we're also a farming community. That's also true with a lot of California that's been in drought. So this weather system that is coming through this year, which was expected, is really just helping keep really entirety of West Coast out of drought. So we are very grateful for it.
Of course. I have family members that live in California, and I can kind of feel what they're going through. I mean, like, family's family. I mean, it just doesn't matter who it is. If they're family, you gotta stand behind them.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. And needless to say, I'm glad that I got that chance over the course of these past few weeks as I rediscovered who I was. And I really have Claire and Charlotte to thank for that.
Oh.
Anytime.
Of
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I wish Greg were around. I mean, like, he really wants to meet you both so bad.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Listen.
Yeah, maybe if he's feeling better this weekend and if he's staying over the course of the finals week, perhaps I can take him in for a short while.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And his health is first. You know,
Right.
we don't want any other students to get sick
Right.
during their finals. So
Right.
or yourself to get sick for your
Yeah.
finals.
All I'm going to say is it's not like a virus or anything, but more so something different. I'm not going to state what it is, though, out of the sake of his privacy. So, anyways, it was also pretty much a joy to be able to play on my Xbox again.
Yeah.
So, allow me to briefly explain the Drift Race Double Ball exploit.
Okay.
So, you clear out all your main modes in the game, and then you have Drift Race activated, and you're in a multi-ball mode. If you haven't claimed the Atta Ball yet, when you light the mystery, the Atta Ball will be lit as well.
Okay.
So, when there's 2 balls left on the field, you just gotta capture them both, hold them in a steady position, drain the second to last ball on the field, shoot the scoop, get the Atta Ball very quickly, and then chaos ensues. You can collect as many shots as you want, clear the mode faster, and if you hit the scoop to get more drift race points, style points to help improve your drift race jackpots, you can hit as many shots as you want because the time is frozen over. And you can literally floor any of your opponents once you nail that technique down pat.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it took me some time to master that exploit, but I've literally gotten a hold of it, and it was such a joy being able to get scores like 1.9 billion on Mustang again. Yeah, like I said, most of my abilities have come back, and I can't wait to get all those back, as well as gain some new ones.
Yeah. What new games are you looking to get again?
I think when I resume streaming, I'm thinking about getting the Jackbox Party Pack.
Oh, there's a few of those.
Yes. Yeah, and so this will be a good opportunity to get to know the audience a little more. I want to see what all of you are like as individuals.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yes. So if I happen to spot anyone that could be a troublemaker, I can keep a better eye on them too. There's always that one person who likes to leave a little bit of a trolling experience in the chat. There's always that one person.
Gotta keep it spicy.
Literally. Has there been any trolls that you might have spotted online, Claire, through any streams that you might have watched recently?
I haven't watched a lot of streams recently, but there's always that one troll. in the chat. Yep, that's what they sound like.
Yeah, well, we're out of time. I heard the siren. We heard the klaxon horn. So it's all over, folks. I'm sorry.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. Well,
Our brains are connected.
I mean, like, the two of you are literally besties at this point.
Feels like it.
I feel like it.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. So, if episode 12 is coming out next week, Greg will be subbing for Charlotte.
Okay. Yeah.
Just as a quick heads up, Greg will be subbing.
Yeah.
So just know that Charlotte can't be here all the time, and in the event she is gone, Greg will take her place.
I'm a busy bee. Buzz.
Yes. I mean, like, Greg and I are so compatible when it comes to humor. Charlotte and I are so compatible when it comes to knowledge. So I've got the best of both worlds.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fight the team behind.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, any last words before we sign off?
Oh, you really put the pressure on me. Thank you for such a wonderful episode. I'm so glad that we're back after so long. And thank you for everyone for listening.
Of course. And thank you all for your support.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always a fun time walking out with a lot of laughs and good memories. So thank you.
Of course.
And thank you, Claire. Thank you for joining us today.
Anytime.
Of course.
It's a fun episode back.
And thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, there will be disappointments in life. Bless humans with the power to turn those disappointments into accomplishments. This is Wayne Z0207, a.k.a. Colton W. Hurst, a.k.a. Fourth Wall Breaking One Man Army. Signing out, folks. Good night, everyone.
Good night.